Good morning, children. In today's lesson, Silk Road, written by Nick Middleton. It is an article which is named on the historic Silk Roads or the routes and the network that connected the Asian countries like India and China with Europe. The traders used to carry the goods like spices, tea, silk, textiles from the Asian countries to be sold in the European market. And this route was tough as it passed through the mountainous regions of Tibet and the Himalayas. And the writer, he wanted to go to Mount Kailash on a pilgrimage. So he took this road and named his travelogue after the famous Silk Route. He started his difficult journey from a valley in Tibet. And in this lesson, he describes his experience with the local people and his journey through the ice-clad Himalayas, the Himalayas which are covered with ice. Now, here in this lesson, our author, Nick Middleton, he left Ravu with Daniel in a four-wheel drive vehicle which was driven by Saturn. Okay. So Saturn is also the name of a person who was driving the vehicle, and Lama gave him a long sleeved sheepskin coat as a gift for protection. Their next destination was Mount Kailash, and Saturn knew a shortcut, but he warned that their journey would be smooth only if there was no snow. Now, on their way, they saw the lonely Jokbas. Jokbas here are the nomadic shepherds tending their flocks. And the men and women were well draped to protect themselves from the cold. They would pause and stare at their car, occasionally waving as they passed by. And as they passed the houses, there were the Tibetan mastiffs. They were barking furiously at the car for some distance, and then they were going away. So the mountain, it became sharper and bumpier. You can see the picture, the sketch of Mount Kailash over here. There was a sudden and unexpected fall of snow which started blocking their way. Now Arthur and Daniel, they got out of the car for Saturn to drive it safely, taking sharp bends. And when they were at 5,210 meters above the sea level, the icy top layer of the snow, it was very dangerous and the car could slip off the road. The snow continued to block their way. And as they reached 5,515 meters above the sea level, the atmospheric pressure became very low, and Saturn opened the lid of the petrol tank to release the evaporated fuel. Because of this coolness, because of this coolness, the fuel also got very cold and it might have frozen up, and so to to get it evaporated, this man Saturn, he opens the lid of the petrol tank. Now the author experienced bad headache, and late afternoon they reached the small town of Hor, Hor, and Daniel returned to Lhasa and Saturn repaired the flat tire of the car. Now Hor it was a grim and a miserable place, and there was no vegetation but just dust and rocks, and there was the accumulated garbage everywhere in that place. This place no longer appeared holy, and by 10:30 they reached a guest house in Darchin. The writer had a very troubled night. Why? Because his sinuses were blocked and he was not able to get enough oxygen, and he was finding it difficult to sleep. So for most part of the night he kept sitting, so he was not able to sleep. And then the next day Saturn took him to Darchin Medical College. The doctor told him that it was the cold and the altitude which were giving him trouble because they were at the great height, and because of that he didn't get means enough oxygen to breathe, and because of the cold atmosphere over there he was suffering from sinus. He gave him some medicine, and that night he was able to sleep well. Satan left the author in Darchen and went away. He did not mind if the author would die in Darchen. He was a good Buddhist and believed in life after death. However, he was worried that this would affect his business if he would not take care of the author, and if anything happened to the author, then his business would be affected, because then the other people, those who were visiting that place, they would not have faith in him. So, like the small town of Darchen was dusty and heaps of refuse could be seen all around. There were not many shops in Darchen. The town appeared to be sparsely populated, and the writer felt lonely as there were not any pilgrims. He had reached the place very early in the season. Now, the writer wanted to reach Mount Kailash to complete his pilgrimage, but he didn't want to do it alone. He was looking for someone who could speak or understand English. One day he was sitting in a cafe. When Norbu saw him reading an English book, he came and introduced himself to the author. He was a Tibetan but was working in Beijing at the Chinese Academy of Social Sciences. He too was there to do pilgrimage. However, he was not a religious person, and then both of them decided to climb Mount Kailash together. Now, children, in this lesson we came across some words. So, let us look at the meaning of those words, which were the words which were related to this mountainous region. One was Kora. Kora, it is a walk all the way around, going around a shrine in Tibetan language. If you are going around any religious place, then in Tibetan language we use the word Kora. And Drokpa, as I told, it is the nomadic shepherd in Tibet. Then we have the word Kyang, Kayang, which means wild Tibetan ASS. And Lamu is a name of a Tibetan girl. Ravu is a mountainous place from where writer started his journey for Kailash. And Mastiff is a type of a guard dog kept by the nomadic shepherds of Tibet. And yaks you might have already seen, isn't it? It is a hairy mountain cows. Now we have here in the beginning of the lesson. Now here in this lesson we have some expressions. So let us just know the meaning of these expressions. The first expression given here is ducking back. That means to go somewhere hastily. Means very hastily, in haste, in hurry we move somewhere. That is called ducking back. Then we have the word maneuvers. That is a military exercise or a military drill. Then the word is billowed. Billowed. Billowed means outpour or outward flow in a smooth, wavy manner. Any outpour or any outward flow which is having a smooth flow in a wavy manner, that is called billowed. Then swath. Swath means a large stretch of land. Then cane of rocks. CAIRN. Cane of rocks, that is a man-made pile of stones that shows a location such as peak of a mountain or a burial landmark. It is a man-made pile of stone that shows a location such as a peak of a mountain or a burial landmark. Carried down means to move downwards quickly. And the last one is salt flats. That means the stretches of land which is covered with salt deposits. So I hope the lesson is clear to you, and the expressions which are used in this lesson also is clear to you. Now the notes of this lesson will be forwarded as soon as this video is forwarded to you. You can just see that you can remove the means take the printout of this PDF whichever I am sending, and you can prepare your lessons. Okay children.